All right, so let's do some two-part breathing. In this breath, you're going to inhale one half of your breath into your belly, pause, and then inhale the second half of your breath into your chest. Pause. And you'll hold your chest open as you exhale half the breath from your belly. Pause. And then exhale the rest of the breath, the second half of your breath from your chest. In this breath, you're going to be learning how to articulate a belly breath and a chest breath, and starting to get your muscles of respiration to allow you to do that. You'll also be really learning how to hold your chest open as you exhale. How do you start the process of learning to empty your lungs without having to drop the ribs down? And as you get both stronger, because that requires strength, as the lungs start to empty, if we are holding our ribs open as the lungs empty, we're losing the support of the lungs. And so we are training our muscles of respiration to actually hold our system expansively without the support of the lungs. And so we're strength training that tissue, and it will start to get a lot more supple from that strength training in this expansive position. Okay, so let's lie down for this. So you can come to your back, and let's take the feet wider than the hips, and you can take your knees together. And so you've got this internal rotation of the thighs that really opens up the back of the pelvis and makes space for the sacrum. And then from here, let's find some neutral curves in the spine. And so I want to have a neutral curve in the lumbar, so you can arch and then tuck until you feel like your pelvic floor point, Hui Yin, right between the anus and the genitals, right at the center of the perineal floor, is aiming straight at the wall that your feet are towards. And so you don't have a big arch in the low back, because you feel if that point had a beam of light coming out of it, you'd see that the beam of light is going down towards the earth. And you also don't have a flattened lumbar spine, because then if that point, that pelvic floor point, had a beam of light out of it, it'd be aiming up towards the sky. And so we're looking for this place where there's a neutral curve in the lumbar spine, and you can find it through aiming that pelvic floor point straight at the opposite wall. And then once you get that, and you have a little curve in the lumbar spine, you're gonna crawl your ribs away from your hips. This little caterpillar crawl. And so you really lengthen the torso. And in that lengthening, you're making space between every single rib. So you lengthen the space between the pelvis and the hips, so that waist gets really long. But also you're lengthening the gaps between the ribs. And in that action, we're actually lengthening the spine, because the ribs are like little handles on each vertebra. And so you can kind of pull through there. And I want you to have a contact through the back of the ribs. Now, some of us have really tight tissue at the base of the ribs, so you won't be able to feel that contact there without flattening your back. And I don't want you to flatten your lower back. We're gonna work on breathing into this tissue back here to get it to be much more open and flexible, and to allow you to have that contact of this whole back of the ribs. And so you've got contact at your sacrum, and you have a neutral curve in your lumbar, and you can feel most of the back of your ribs making contact with the floor. You want that to feel wide and long. And then with the head and the neck, let's pull the neck long. And I want you to also have a neutral curve in your cervical spine, the neck. And so the way you can feel this is by finding a point at the crown of your head. If you take your fingers to the center of your ears and then draw a line up to the top of your head, there's a point up here and it's called Bai Hui. And let's just tuck our chin down all the way so you feel your neck flatten. And when you do that, just feel if you had a beam of light coming out of that point at the top of your head, how it'd be aiming up towards the sky. And then let's lift the chin up so that you get a mega curve in the neck. And just feel that point on the top of your head and see how it would be aiming straight. Like not straight down, but downwards towards the earth. And let's see if we can get it to aim straight at the wall that is above your head, not at the sky, but the wall that's above your head, like the horizon line there. And so see if you can get that point to aim straight there. And what you should feel is that you do have a neutral curve in the neck here. And so as you get that, see if you can just also really lengthen your head away from your tail, like you could make a little space between each vertebra. So it's like you feel like you're decompressing around your brainstem and spinal cord as it starts to drop down. And like you're making a little extra, like a little extra gaps between the vertebrae so they have space. Okay. And so now from here, take one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. And I will talk through the first 3 and we'll do 10 total. And so you're gonna inhale into your belly. Pause. Inhale into your chest. Pause. Hold your chest open. Exhale half the breath from your belly. Pause. And then exhale the rest from your chest. Letting the chest drop. Okay, round number 2. Inhale half your breath into your belly. Pause. Inhale the second half into the chest. Pause. Exhale half the breath from your belly. Pause. Exhale half the breath from your chest. And round number 3. Inhale half the breath into your belly. Pause. Inhale the second half into the chest. Pause. Exhale half the breath from your belly, holding your chest open. Pause. And then exhale the second half from your chest, letting the chest drop. Okay. Let's do several more, and let's just breathe at our own speed, and I'll throw some cues out as we go. So you can just take a normal breath. And then you can start as you're ready. Yeah, see if you can be very articulate, like with your breath, where when you breathe into your belly, the chest doesn't move. And when you breathe into your chest, it's truly a chest breath, like you're not breathing down into the belly. The chest is the thing that's expanding. And when you exhale from your belly, your chest doesn't drop at all. Okay. If you find that your shoulders are jumping up and trying to help you as you go, just pause your breath right where you are and relax your shoulders. And see if you can restart your breath without the shoulders jumping along. And every time they jump up to help, see if you can just pause and relax and start again. Like just pick up where you are. If you start to get a sense of urgency to breathe, you can do two things. One, you can drop the breath that you're on and just take a normal breath and see if you can restart with a more settled system. You can also see if you can not stop, but keep going. Try to stay with the rhythm that you're in and see if you can just calm yourself down inside of it. This is feeling so good, I want to keep going. And so we're going to go past 10 breaths. And for the next few, what I want you to focus on is, as you're inhaling into your belly, can you feel the whole abdomen, even the back, expanding? And so you can feel this space between the ribs and the pelvis and feel the whole thing circumferentially expanding. As it expands, can you experience that the diaphragm is actually dropping down and feel that the diaphragm is really, it's attaching at the base of the ribs here. And so as you inhale, it drops down, but there's these edges going all the way around. And so you feel the whole parachute of it dropping down into the belly. And then when you inhale into your chest, see if you can get a circumferential expansion so you feel not just the front expanding up to the sky, but the sides of the chest opening and also the back. Feel you've got 60% of your lung tissue in the back of your chest here. And so see if you can really breathe into every cell and feel the sponginess of the lungs expanding. You're going to feel the floor push out of you and more space come between your heart and your spine. And so as you inhale into your belly, feel the whole thing expanding. And when you inhale into your chest, feel that 360-degree expansion. Let's just take one more breath like this. Okay, now return to normal breathing and just see how you feel. I can feel a softening in my face, behind my eyes, and I can feel like a soft glow sort of wrapping my whole torso. And just a sense of calm. Okay. Have fun with it.